Hey guys, Jason Sheerin here. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm going to be trying something new. It's going to be something I like to call a theory video, where I tried my take on having a certain theory in mind. Like, for example, if you wanted me to do a theory on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I would do it. Or something like that. And don't worry, I will warn you if there are spoilers. I will warn you. So be prepared for that. By the way, this is just my personal opinion. You do not need to agree with me on this. Like, this is what I think. If you think something else, that's fine. So just don't start ranting in the comments section. Alright, so anyway, alright. So before I get into this, I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard of the book series Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And, yeah, you know that book about the middle schooler named Greg Heffley? And he basically talks about his troubles at school and whatnot. Well, and with his newest book being Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Getaway. But yeah, you should read that. That's a pretty good book. But anyway, now, which leads me to the theory that I have today. The theory that I'm going to talk about is a question that a lot of Wimpy Kid fans have in their mind. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people had their takes on it. But I'm going to have my take on it now. And shout out to my friend Henry Perno for even mentioning it. Like, we were talking about it a little earlier, and that gave me an idea for a video. So I said, why not make a video on it? So I decided to make a video. But anyway, the question that's on everyone's minds is, how much time passes between the books? Okay, so here's my theory. Okay, it starts off pretty simple, but it gets confusing after a while. Now, so let's start with Diary of a Wimpy Kid Roderick Rules, the second book. Now, Roderick Rules starts at the beginning of Greg's 7th grade year. So it takes place three months have passed between the end of the first book and the beginning of the second. And because the first book ended in June, so the second book, I'm guessing, begins in September. Actually, no, I know it begins in September because I read it. Yeah, and so basically 3 months have passed between that. Okay, so that's pretty logical. And then you've got the last straw, which takes place in January. The beginning of the book is in January, and it goes all the way through June of 7th grade. So it takes place like 1 month after the book ends. After the book Roderick Rules ends. So basically, you've got Roderick Rules, which ends in December, and then the last straw, which begins in January. So, yeah, that's pretty logical. And then you've got Dog Days, which takes place immediately after the events of the last straw. So basically, here's just a little recap. The first Diary of a Wimpy Kid book takes place in 6th grade. Roderick Rules takes place in the first half of 7th grade. The Last Straw takes place in the second half. And Dog Days takes place over the summer after 7th grade. So Dog Days talks about Greg's summer. So yeah, basically, that's so far not so confusing, right? Once we get to the ugly truth, then it starts off with like part 1 of 8th grade. September, I think it's September through November of 8th grade. And yeah, and so basically, it's all about like puberty and whatnot. And then you've got Cabin Fever, which takes place like 1 month after the events of the Ugly Truth. Cabin Fever starts off in December, whereas the Ugly Truth ended in November. So, and then it went for December and January of 8th grade, Cabin Fever. Once we got to the third wheel, I'm pretty sure it was only February, maybe a little bit of March. So yeah, it was basically Valentine's Day and whatnot. And then you've got the 8th book, Hard Luck, which takes place basically, I think in March and April and whatnot. I think so, but I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. Wait, hold on, I think it's April through June or something like that, I don't know. It's been a while since I read the book, so forgive me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, so it takes place immediately after the third wheel. Then you got The Long Haul, which takes place during the summer. So basically, the summer afterwards. So basically, so far, the 9th book takes place 1 year. The Long Haul takes place 1 year after the events of Dog Days. Essentially, after the events of Dog Days. And then and it ends in like July or something like that. And then, or June maybe, or August, I think, I don't know. And then you've got, Old School, which at first I thought was gonna be Greg in high school. Like, we were all excited for the 10th book because we thought that Greg was going to high school. We were wrong. Once it gets to Old School, this is when it gets confusing. The 10th book takes place in 8th grade. When the Long Haul took place during the summer between 8th grade and freshman year. Is Old School a prequel or something? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, like that's like, so this just takes place when he's still in 8th grade. Like, I'm really confused. Then you've got Double Down, which takes place while Greg is in 8th grade once again. Are they just doing? Is Jeff Kinney just doing prequels now? Like, it seems to be a neck. So basically, I think the Old School. Actually, I think Old School started off with like the second part of summer break. It may have started off in like August, and then it ended in like September or something like that. And then you've got Double Down, which was in October and November, which took place in like October and November or something like that. And then you've got the newest edition, The Getaway, which took place in December. And as far as we know, Greg is still in 8th grade. And you might be thinking, well, how is this even possible? Well, here's my theory on the books. Okay, so I have two possible theories for this. Three different possibilities. Possibility number 1, 10 through 12 are prequels. Now, the reason I say that is because basically Greg is still in 8th grade at this point. So, yeah, like, I'm guessing this takes place, these events take place before the events of the long haul. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. My second theory, Canadian wolf puppy syndrome. And it's one of those where he never ages. Something like From the Land Before Time or from Alpha and Omega. Yeah, I referenced Alpha and Omega. Probably one of those where Greg stays in 8th grade. And possibility number 3 is actually what came from my friend Henry. Me and Henry were talking about it. And his theory is that Greg just writes them as he goes. Like, he only writes the most important things of his life down. Maybe. Yeah, that's a certain... Sorry about that, guys. My dad walked in the room. Yeah, but anyway, how is that even possible? Like, if he's gonna be in 8th grade forever, how's that even possible? I mean, even I'm confused about this. Yeah, even I'm confused about this. I don't know. Like, even as a hardcore Diary of a Wimpy Kid fan, I never really got it. I never really got the 10 through 12. So, just as a recap, books 1 through 9 are not very confusing. Like, they all take place after each other. They're all sequels. Once we get to 10, 11, and 12, that's when it gets confusing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. Be sure to leave a like, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next one. And also, if you would like to see more theories, leave a like, and I will take requests. I'm open to requests. So, if you have a theory request that you'd like me to go over, I will happily go over it. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. So long.